Apologies for the technical difficulty, folks. We're going to give this a second try as we're looking back at the Cleveland Cavaliers victory over the Charlotte Hornets and also looking ahead at the Oklahoma City Thunder battle that is surely going to make some serious waves. We are just 3 days away from the battle between the two best teams in the NBA, without question. Watching that Celtics versus Thunder game today was genuinely surprised, shocked at just how good OKC's defense was. This is without Alex Caruso being in the lineup and without Chet Holmgren being in the lineup. They got whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. They held Boston under 40 points in the entire second half. They could not buy a basket. Everyone on Boston was jacking up threes. Jrue Holiday was nowhere to be found on the offensive end. Saw a stretch of Cason Wallace in just his second season. Hit several shots in a row. We saw Lou Dort 3 threes over the final 3 minutes of the game. Shea is hitting every shot. Shea pinned a Tatum shot off the backboard in those closing minutes. So OKC is absolutely a scary team. Both of the matchups, thank goodness, have been flexed into prime time between Cleveland and OKC. One happening next Wednesday, the second being a week from Thursday. So we're going to get both of them in a short time. OKC's won 15 games in a row coming into the showdown. Certainly been an impressive bunch. But look at tonight's victory over the Charlotte Hornets. It's just another one that went right for the Cavs. Shots were dropping when they needed to. Donovan and Darius each made 8. Jarrett made 9. Evan made 6. Everybody kind of did their thing, when they needed to. It's a team effort when these guys win. And I'm very happy, as I'm sure many of you are, with the effort that we've seen from these Cleveland Cavaliers. They don't take a night off. Yet tonight wasn't the best, but the Hornets now lost 10 in a row. The Cavs have won 10 in a row. You had flip streaks coming in. LaMelo and Brandon Miller both back after long absences. LaMelo's got to stop jacking these terrible deep threes. It's not working. 24 points on 20 shots for him, 3 turnovers. Surprised to see Brandon Miller was actually a minus 27 for them. Not sure what happened to Nick Richards and why they went Taj Gibson for the Mark Williams absence minutes. Micic couldn't get anything going when he was in. Nick Smith actually had a nice game. I do like him. He's in his second year out of Arkansas. He can shoot. Got some run last year. Has been buried on the bench this year. But they have so many guys out. Tajon Salon had a couple of moments, but he only shot 2 of 8. Did have 9 rebounds. I'm still trying to... I don't watch enough of his game, trying to figure out what he does best. And on the Cavs side, Dean Wade's defense continued to be a factor. He was plus 17 in 21 minutes. Donovan Mitchell scored 17 of his 19 after the break. Garland had 25 points on just 14 shots. He hit all 5 of his free throws, keep his percentage over 90. I'm impressed by Max Strus. He wasn't hitting his shots, but he was slashing. He was playmaking. He was a game-high plus 24. Ty Jerome got 20 minutes, 8, 4, and 5 with 2 steals. He was a plus 13. Didn't love the end of game minutes, and Jerome was a plus 22 going into that last stretch, but they did not score a point with Jerome, Porter, Thompson, Thor, and Tyson in the game, which was certainly surprising because some of them usually play pretty well. But Jared Allen was, again, very effective inside, and he did a lot of really good things for the Cavs, as he continues to do. There was a lot of flack on Allen for not stepping up and not playing as well. We look at his last 5 games, 22, 10, and 4 with 3 steals against Jokic, 12 and 9 with 2 blocks against the Dubs, 27 and 14 with 3 blocks against the Lakers. A little more quiet against Dallas with 11 and 9 the other night, but big one tonight, 19 and 11, 2 blocks, 9 of 10 from the field. He makes 69% of his shots. His scoring and rebounding are both down from last year because his minutes are down. His touches might be down, but not down 3 points, half a rebound. Assists are down because he gets less touches. We did see, mentioned the 2 assists today. He threw an incredible pass to Evan on the interior. And, we look at things, and the excitement is palpable. Still, they're 31-4. Nobody since the Warriors in 2015-16 have been this good and had this record at any time. And, yeah, maybe you don't want to compare to a team that didn't win the title. But yes, the 15-16 Warriors did not win the title. That's because the Cavs took them down. So we're talking about a thing that didn't happen because the Cavs are involved. Maybe, just maybe, it is okay. Maybe it's not. But, I mean, SGA should probably be the MVP favorite right now. Tonight he had 33, 11, and 6 with 3 steals and 2 blocks. He's had 30 or more in 8 of the last 10, including 3 games of 40 points. For a guard, by the way, so he shot 15 to 26, 10 of 25, 14 to 25. Against Indy at 45 on 22 shots. He had 35 on 14 to 19 against Memphis. Hit Minnesota for 40 on 15 of 23. He has some unbelievable games. He also gets 6 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He's not this foul merchant that everyone says he is. He does get to the line a lot, but he finishes with efficiency. It's his 4th time in 5 years over 50% shooting. He still gets to the, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, full name, Shayvonte Ashion Gilgeous-Alexander. Incredible name, He has a 6'11" wingspan. Combo guard. Let's see how the Cavs handle him. I'm going to pull up stats here for the Thunder. Truthfully, I've not watched them as much as I probably should have this season, but let's look at numbers. OKC have seen a handful of games. They're now 30-5 after beating Boston. 30-5. Okay. Number 1 scoring defense. Number 10 scoring offense. They beat the Knicks by 10, and they beat Boston by double digits as well. The Knicks had won 9 straight coming into the meeting, and they just said, we don't care. We'll see if Caruso plays. Chet will not be around for next week's game. Obviously, Nikola Topic isn't going to play this season. He's another great piece for them. So, SGA, we mentioned. How about Jalen Williams? He's averaging 21, 6, and 5 with 2 steals. Lu Dort hasn't been great offensively, but I'm looking at the numbers for the Thunder, and every starter averages at least 0.7 blocks, including Cason Wallace. That's pretty insane, truthfully. The number of steals they get is very impressive. They've had the 20th in strength of schedule. But they got the 7th offensive rating, the 1st defensive rating, the top turnover percentage, number 1 in effective field goal percentage, number 1 in turnover percentage. Surprisingly, they're only 18th in attendance. But let's look at shooters. Nobody has actually jumped off the page. Dort, surprisingly, 40% this year, man. Remember where he started. Aaron Wiggins at 40%. Shea at 35. J-Dub is at 35. Jalen Williams, the big Jalen Williams, has come back and spread the floor for them very well. See if Caruso does play. Hartenstein's been so good. 12-12 with 4 assists and a block. He's hitting 58% of his shots. Obviously, the Cavs are still going to have the size advantage by a little bit. Really want to see how I'm very curious, rather, to see how Evan and Jarrett get going and how they use them in this one. It's going to be so much fun. I'm definitely anxious. I'm sure we're all anxious. Cleveland handled business against the Hornets. We're going to relive this 10-game winning streak right now. We're going to go through every game and quick outline. So since losing to Miami on December 8th, beat the Wizards by 10, the Nets by 29, the Bucks by 23, the Sixers by 27, the Jazz by 11, Nuggets by 14, the Warriors by 18, the Lakers by 12, the Mavs by 12, and the Hornets by 10. Every game by double digits. December was successful for them, extremely. They're now 2-0 in January. After the Thunder, it's the Raptors, the Pacers twice. How about this for finally getting some love? 3 of the next 5 Cavs games are going to be on national TV. But then they got Minnesota, Phoenix, Houston, twice in a week. There's definitely going to be some tricky games on the calendar. Minnesota. So many of these teams have underachieved. Like Minnesota's barely over 500. Phoenix, same situation. Houston's been fantastic. But, those two, Indiana has struggled this year. They're going to look at the Cavs match and say this is the chance to show a lot of people that we might be able to turn it around. We got Miami at the end of the month. You got Detroit. at the end of January as well. You got Atlanta again, Dallas again. The schedule never gets easy. There's no easy game. There is a stretch in February, pre-All-Star break, Washington, Minnesota, Toronto. And they come back with Nets and Knicks. Let's see what the schedule has in store for the Cavs. They've been winning a lot. We're 31-4, but yet OKC is 30-5. It's the first time, really. You can't come in with any predisposed anything. Nothing is easy in this league. The Cavs having 31 wins in 35 games feels crazy given where we've been at other times. So take this game, treat this game truthfully like your NBA championship. You're going to be on national TV. Charles Barkley just said the Sixers could beat the Cavs. He'd take them over them. And just looking at the head-to-heads, how they've gone, Embiid or not, there's no chance that in a full series, fully healthy, that can happen just based on the results of this year. Unless they're calling the Cavs the 07-08 Mavericks, who went 67-15 and lost in round one, for the 10-11 Spurs, who got upended by the Grizzlies. We're not going to talk about that D-Rose MVP Bulls team to lose round one against the Sixers because they lost their MVP. Okay? One game at a time. It's a long season. Still have a long way to go to even lock up that top spot from Boston. Keep winning. One game at a time. Cavs versus Thunder should absolutely feel like a championship atmosphere. They play twice the next week. So it's going to be a blast. If I was in Cleveland, I would be going. There's no question. If I was in OKC, I would absolutely go to that one too. There's some games you just have to circle and say, we're doing it. Let's drop the big bucks. Let's go see this incredible matchup in person. The Cavs are 31-4. The Thunder are 30-5. They've won 15 in a row. The Cavs have now won 10 in a row, all by 10 plus. Something's got to give. There are no ties in the NBA. It's going to be a hell of a game. We'll see you on Wednesday. Cleveland and OKC. This is Across the Cavs. Zach Weiss, Network 216. Post-game. See what's up on Wednesday. Should be a battle.